Okay, so we finished up assignment 5 last class, but we're going to be using it for this next assignment, which is assignment 6, because assignment 6 is designing a poster that features our spot illustration. So what are the things we need to add to our spot illustration? We need to add a background, a border, and then type design, and arrange those all into a poster format. We're going to design the type as a black vector, right? And then we're going to do a color version of that and then make the whole poster work. But we need to really understand the shape of our spot illustration. And we want to make it the best it can be for our poster, because this is going to be a good candidate for printing very large in the class, up to our largest print size, which is 16 by 20. So I want to show you what we can do with a good finished illustration. So this was kind of the final result that I came up with. It has duotone hard edge color, but it has then full spectrum kind of mixing into all of it very subtly. It has color holds around the flames, around the lights, around the smoke, around the bullets, right? It has little color hold sparkles on the eyes and on the vehicles. Might be a little overdone. But this is kind of the finished spot illustration. This is also a finished spot illustration. This is just done with simple flat color. So this would be the version of it for printing cheaply on like newsprint very quickly. This would be kind of more high-end printing on clay-coated paper. Now, one thing we have that we can do is we can go to our home page, and you have the option, this is completely optional, but now that we've designed an original spot illustration, if we go to links, which are all our external sources, we can use Redbubble. So Redbubble is a site where for free you can showcase and sell your digital imaging through various products, through prints, through t-shirts, that kind of thing. And what it takes to do it is a well-conceived spot illustration, right? So let me just show you how you do that. If you're interested, you would sign up. I just use my Gmail account. And what's nice about Redbubble, why I keep using it for students, even though they pay you less and less as print-on-demand services become more saturated with just AI images, right? What you can do is make your work private just to you. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate here. So I will log in. And again, I just use a simple email, just like we log into Pixabay. And I'm going to manage my portfolio by adding a new work. Now, what do you need to add a new work that has a lot of versatility? You need it to be a PNG, because that's an online file format. And you need it to have a transparent background, right? And so I have a bunch of versions here. I think this was that's my latest version, right? But I also have the flat color version. I also have, that might be the newest version, the duotone color version. Those two look identical. Oh no, this one has the full spectrum. This one doesn't. That's the difference. Okay. So I like this one. I remember which one that is. It is that one. So I'm going to drag that in where it says upload new work. And it needs to be a high enough resolution. That's why we did it at 11 by 14 by 350, that it's big enough to print on these various products, right? So before I even put in any of the information for it, I'm going to go down to the very bottom, and I'm going to say, who can view this work? I'm just demonstrating it to you right now, and I'm not sure that the Jim Henson, legacy company that owns the rights to the Muppets would be okay with this variation of Kermit. I think it transforms it but it's still recognizable. So I'd have a little pause before I make this public. Yes?
Well, is it if it's a parody?
So if it's a parody, yeah, that is one of the sections of fair use. So this is like, I feel pretty good about it, but I'm not going to put in a class video my declaration that I'm sure this won't have any cease and desist to it. What happens if I do make it public and there is a complaint for copyright? They just send me an email and they pull it from me and I get a black mark on the account, and after too many of those, they won't allow me to post anymore.
Change the eyes a little bit or something.
I could, but I need it to look like Kermit. So it's like that push and pull for the joke to work. But I can make it private to me, right? And then I can make t-shirts for my kids or something, right? And not have to worry about it. So that's public facing versus private facing. So I'm just going to call it, let's see, Public Menace for the time being. And I'm just going to give it some tags like Kaiju, which is not copyrightable, and Public, and Media, and Menace, and Parody, and Cartoon, and Frog, and Monster, and Humor. Those kind of things. And I'm not going to worry about describing it right now. This is what I wanted to show you. So with the size of the image, these are all the products that it can be. It's not quite big enough to be a desk mat, probably because it's so narrow, right? But it's big enough to even be a shower curtain or a fabric. So this one looks pretty nice. So if I want to control these settings a little bit, like the most basic is t-shirts, that's probably what I sell the most of. I can see the printable area. These are print-on-demand t-shirts. And so I can kind of optimize that and place it. And then I can choose the color that it works best on. Right? And because it's a PNG with an offset, you see how it can hopefully work well on any background. That's a green. I think that's kind of fun. A dark, dark green. All right. And then I say apply changes. And then for any of these others, this is a t-shirt that just has a slightly larger print area. It costs a little more. It has limited color. But you can get a bigger version of the t-shirt image. I don't want the hat, so I'm going to disable that. I always want stickers and magnets. That's kind of my favorite product from them. That's what all these are. Right? So when you do a sticker, you don't get any choices about it, right? It's automatically going to give it a border. And what I like about adding just that white offset to it is it makes that border a little extra. So it makes it a little bit sturdier as a sticker because you have that offset around it. And then I don't need to deal with phone cases or any of these other ones right now. But I will just show you one thing that's fun. Well, here, I'll make it into a poster because we're doing poster design. Notice for the posters, I'm not able to change the image. Like I'm not able to shrink it on the form. But what I can do, because it's a PNG, is I can pick a background color for that poster, and it will print with a border. So let's go into, let's see, what do we think? What's going to look nice on a wall? Bluish gray, okay. Yeah, maybe something like that. So then I can take that hex code and I can use it on multiple products if I want. So now I have that background for the poster. If I wanted it to be a scarf, I can put that background color, just copy that hex code, paste it. And then I don't need to just have it big because that's as big as it can print on their fabric printer, right? which is larger than 11 by 14. But remember, we made it 11 by 14 by 350. But I can do this. I can turn it into a pattern. This is the beauty of having a well-designed spot illustration. And this is what's called a half-drop pattern, which we'll be learning more about with color separation. And I can make kind of a fabric design repeating like that for the scarf. And I could do that for a shower curtain or anything else, right? And really, because I'm not going to be declarative about my intellectual property rights to this, the originality of this image, I really only want to enable, I can always go back and edit it, but I really want to only enable ones that I think I might actually have reason to purchase for myself. Canvas bag looks good, and this shape is kind of perfectly suited to the printable size for the canvas bag. And so I disable everything else. You can even make socks, backpacks, all this kind of stuff. So what do I have enabled? I have the bag. I have the notebook. Actually, I don't think the notebook looks that good. I have the scarf. Oh, but what if I do this with the notebook? If I do a half drop pattern. Haha. Now it looks fancy. Right? I have a poster, I have stickers and magnets, and I have two different shirts. Now those shirts will do lots of variations. So then I have to say, what is it? It is drawing and design and illustration, and it is digital art. And I'm only making it viewable to me. And it's definitely not mature content. It's very, very immature. And so then I have to agree, and this is the important bit, that I have the right to sell products containing this artwork, including any featured company name or logo. I've avoided that, right? Any featured person's name or face, or any featured words or images created by someone else. So that's where the Kermit likeness might get me in a little bit of trouble. But that's why I'm making it only private, so I'm fine. And I'm showing this under educational fair use anyway, just to show you how you can post a product. All right. Now, Redbubble does have licensing agreements with Netflix, so you can do Netflix properties here, and then they review it and approve it. And then you can do your own designs for like Stranger Things or other Netflix properties. So this is what I want to show you. The range of products, right, that one well-conceived spot illustration can yield. And my favorite, the sticker. So let's look at these sticker options. So if I view the product page for the stickers, I can get small little sticker. I don't want that. Right? I can get a medium-sized sticker. I can get a large sticker. And this is why resolution matters, because then I can even get an extra large sticker. That's 11 by 14 inches, and it would print cleanly and well, right? Because I set it up with the right resolution at 11 by 14 by 350. And that can be a holographic sticker, a glossy sticker, a transparent sticker, like all these different options, right? Let's see what the transparent extra large looks like. And that's why I like having the offset. So that offset is still there. It just doesn't have the full sticker white border. It would be a transparent sticker edge to it. Make sense? Great for Christmas gifts. I got someone for their birthday an apron for the first time. And actually printed really well. Fully printed apron. So that is an option you have, right? Now, if we look at Redbubble, and let's just look at some things I do have public facing. Often, it can be fun to combine your illustration with type, right? And so this poster that we're designing is going to add type to our illustration. And we have to decide where